Okay, so today we're going to be looking if IBHOA is the right class for you. Again, you're a prospective junior looking to maybe get involved in a higher level history class. It's going to be a little bit different than what you had in World II and honors government. Um, it'll be different from what you have if you take USVA standard or honors as well. Getting into the IB curriculum is just going to be a different journey as a whole. And so looking at this, if you are interested, here's kind of how the classes break down in terms of, just focusing on the HOA information for now. We do a mix of US and Latin America. In years past for government as well as for World II or whatever other history classes you've taken, these classes have all been known as like survey courses where you go from one unit onto the next, onto the next, onto the next. HOA is a little bit different where we do 4 big units throughout the entirety of the school year. And we focus on those units on a much more micro level than you would have done in the past. It's going to be thematic for that reason. So we're going to kind of skip and move throughout the course of U.S. history. We'll start in the pre-Civil War period. We'll do the Civil War as our first unit. After the Civil War, we will do this unit called Development of Modern Nations, where we'll look at the U.S. in comparison to Argentina in terms of how their nations developed and modernized. From that point, we'll then look at the Mexican Revolution as our next unit. And then to wrap up the year, we'll do a global comparison, America's focus comparison on the Second World War. In terms of assessment style, we'll have in-class essays, which are going to be served as like our unit tests. Okay, these are known as paper threes. We'll also have like document-based questions, which are known as paper ones. So again, we'll break down the full process for how those are formatted when we're actually in the course itself. But again, it's a very writing intensive class, and just to add into that, we do have 2 IB style research papers known as internal assessments or IAs. Um, but aside from that, it is a work hard, play hard situation where we have field trips and Socratic seminars, debates, artistic poster projects and things along those lines as well. And again, if you're looking to be challenged, if you're somebody who thinks that they're motivated and want to experience a college style level class, then the HOA is the right course for you. Again, this is going to be designed to be pretty much focused, very similar to a college level class. And so if you're looking for that type of exposure and experience at this point in your academic journey, this would be the right class for you. And again, just to get back to the writing, you're going to write roughly about 20 to 25 pages throughout the course of the school year. Um, and again, 2 of these writing assignments that are going to be really important are going to be focused on the IB internal assessment. You also do some other kind of like more small scale writing assignments early on in the school year and throughout the school year when you're not in the IA writing period. In addition, we do have reading. You'll have to read select chapters from Abraham Lincoln and Civil War America, select chapters from Mexicans in Revolution, discussing the Mexican Revolution, and then you're going to have a number of articles and academic readings that you'll have in conjunction with what we have going on, throughout the course, and in addition to your own internal assessment and research that you have to do for that. Again, we're going to be doing paper ones and paper threes in here. Paper twos, if you plan to take IB topics your senior year, that's what you'll do then. But our assessments are going to be, larger in that paper, IB style paper format. Paper ones, again, are going to be document-based questions that you'll have to answer. Some are kind of compare and contrast questions or evaluating written sources or physical sources or, images and things like that. And then some of them are going to be, essay-based. And then paper three is entirely like an in-class essay style assessment. So again, no multiple choice, something that we leave behind or anything like that. No fill in the blank or anything along those lines. You also have a number of poster projects, gallery walks, maps, artistic based projects as well, posters, large and small as mentioned. And in addition, you'll also have debates and Socratic seminars to kind of fuel some of that oratory history that you'll be doing. Okay. And again, we take field trips. This was a field trip in the past. We went to Gunston Hall. This is the class of 2025 when they were there. So again, this is going to be their time when they were at Gunston Hall. We actually don't do this field trip anymore, but again, this was one that we've done in the past. This is when we went to George Mason, okay, to look at their enslaved individuals Gunston Hall Memorial. We also do a dance and decorum lesson. That's a fan favorite. And then we take a field trip to the National Portrait Gallery. We'll be taking the Metro into Washington, D.C. to be going to the National Portrait Gallery in the American Smithsonian Museum of American Art. And so again, class of 2025 on their field trip here. So again, if you are interested in IB History of the Americas, Feel free to pop by my room to ask any questions. My name is Mr. Tashi. I'm in room 222. If you have any questions for myself or Miss Kearney, she's in room 217. So if you're interested in asking either of us any questions about the course and the coursework and the course load, please let me know.